This is that Marshall Origin 20. New pair of EL34s installed. New 5-watt 150 ohm resistor in place of a choke, as opposed to the 2-watt, which likes to burn in these. In the previous video, you saw me resolder these 5 watts. And in the previous video, people were in the comments were saying that a lot of these look solder starved. They're soldered from the other side of the board, so the top can be deceiving, but I gave them all a little bit more solder, all the ones like this that are mounted up in the air, just for a bit more mechanical support. And just verified the bias. And it's a pair of EL34s with 14.8 volts across the cathode. And plate to cathode is 227. And once you subtract about 5% for the screens, that leaves about 10.64 watts per tube on a 25-watt tube with 227 volts for EL34s. Just like the Studio Vintage 20 nonsense, this is marketing tubes. They could have used a pair of 6V6s, gotten a much more realistic bias. With cathode bias, you really want to be 90 to 100%, maybe a little bit over with some tube types, but you certainly don't want to be at 50%. That's just going to be a recipe. Actually, lower than 50%. We're about 45% for a 25-watt tube. So, it's going to get cold clipping, and that's what it sounds like. Just has that grainy, cold-biased, cold-clipping sound that we've all come to know, and some of us like. Those of us who've heard Marshalls, healthy, real Marshalls, tend not to. I am whelmed. I am very, very whelmed. I think there's a lot of people out there who've never heard a real Marshall, and they get one of these, and it sounds better than whatever they had before. And it looks cool, and they think they've bought into the whole Marshall thing, and they will staunchly defend that purchase. And guys like me have to come out and say, sorry, that's really, really not a good sounding, well-built thing. And then I get all the vitriol. I can live with that. Whatever, man. It's not a bad amp. The cleans are okay. It's usable. I wish the master volume didn't suck so hard so you could, get that kind of overdrive at lower volume levels. As soon as you use the master volume, it becomes useless. They put in that low output mode, which helps a little bit, but I would stick a low impedance volume pedal in the loop and see if that fares better than the master volume that's in the circuit itself. But that's more time on this amp than I have to spend because I've got other amps that need my attention. So we're going to call this one done.